Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Council 6, where we bring you all a D&D drama and peril, both real and imagined, that will take your breath and steal your mind. I am your host, G.A. Langaro, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on this journey through the rich and storied history of the Forgotten Realms. As a passionate fan of Dungeons & Dragons and an experienced dungeon master, I spent countless hours exploring the many wonders of this incredible world. From the towering spires of Watergate to the misty swamps of the Moonshae Isles, there's no shortage of adventure to be had. Also, in addition to our regular video content like this video here, we also host live streams of our D&D campaigns twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays, so if you're looking for a bit of excitement and want to join us on our adventure, be sure to tune in and follow us on all our social media channels as well. And of course, if you enjoy our content, please remember to subscribe, smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and share it with your fellow adventurers. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us to continue creating high-quality content for all of you. So without any further ado, let's dive into the rich and complex history of the Forgotten Realms. Welcome back to our series on the history of Toril, the worlds of Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms. In the last few videos, we covered and concluded the Days of Thunder and the Creator Races, culminating around minus 30,000 DR with the destruction of the Eyrie Empire by the First Flight of Dragons. This event ushered in the next age of Toril, the Dawn Age, which will be the topic of this and the next few episodes of the series. Much like the videos on the Days of Thunder, the Dawn Age involves quite a few things that require more in-depth explanation, most notably the time of dragons and giants, the first immigration of the Fae, and the many pivotal conflicts that define the Dawn Age. So with this first entry, I will give an overview of the Dawn Age and then cover more in depth the time of dragons, the reign of the giants, and the immigration and background of the Elves in their own videos following this one. So let's begin. The Dawn Age, also known as the time of dragons and the reign of giants, was a period lasting from minus 30 DR to minus 24,000 DR when the powerful empires of the Creator Races disappeared from the face of Toril and their land was occupied by giants and dragons far more powerful than those of the present age. Unlike the previous age, which had flourishing civilizations founding great empires, advancing technology and magic, and the creation of new races, the Dawn Age was a time of constant war for land in Faerun that led to the creation of the great kingdoms and empires in the future. As described in the last video on the Eyrie, by minus 30,000 DR, dragons had reached maturity and had grown in prominence and power, organizing the First Flight of the Dragons, led by the powerful dragon general Nagamat. They decimated the lands, showing everyone who the real power on Toril was. During this time, the lesser races, those of primitive humans and other demi-humans, were enslaved by the dragon lords. Although some believed the metallic dragons were less brutal masters than the chromatics, a few metallics believe this was not the case. These early dragons were fiercely religious and devout to their deities, most notably Tiamat and Bahamut, two names that are at the center of many important and pivotal events throughout the history of Toril, up to and including the present age. This devotion sparked intense wars among dragonkind, known as the Draco Holy Wars, over philosophical differences between the different religious dogmas of the Draconic pantheon. These wars were fought not only between different species, but also within the species as well. One would think this much war, bloodshed, and destruction was enough, but no, the dragons also battled the giants for a long time. Giants inhabited Toril before any of the other humanoid or demi-human races, before even the Creator Races. The first of their kind and source of the entire species were the sons of Anum Allfather and his wife Othea, who settled on the planet to form a kingdom known as Astoria. Each of their mortal sons was the progenitor of a different type of giant, for example the Titans the Batrachi battled in the Days of Thunder. In the early days of the Dawn Age, the dragons and giants kind of ignored each other, the dragons not venturing anywhere near the stronghold of Astoria, and by minus 28,000 DR, Astoria reached the peak of its power, beginning the reign of the giants. The giants of Astoria competed with one another for most of Astoria's history to produce useful and beautiful marvels, each working in their own special way. The hill giants, for instance, built a large circle that served as both a calendar and an oracle, casting shadows in the shape of animals and hunters. However, the stone and fire giants produced the greatest masterpieces of art and skill, respectively. But by minus 26,000 DR, the dragons ignored the giants no longer, and sparked what would become known as the Thousand-Year War. Meanwhile, the Eladrin were laying the first seeds of what would become the powerful and well-known races of the Elves in later ages. Elves, unlike all the other races we have talked about, were not native to Toril. I briefly touched on the many planes of existence outside of the prime material plane in which Toril resides in the Batrachi episode in this series. The Fae originally come from one of these other planes, the Feywild. Colloquially called the Fae, elves are only one of many races originating from the Feywild, and around minus 27,000 DR, the Fae opened the first portal to Toril, which allowed the first of the elves to immigrate there. Most of the early elves were content to remain in small scattered tribes. One group of green elves, however, known as the Illithiri, negotiated with the dragons to allow them to carve out a small kingdom in the south. For many centuries, the elves lived quietly and unnoticed by the immensely powerful forces of the dragons and giants. However, they were not ignorant of the turmoil and constant destruction caused by the dragons. Later, more elves would arrive, and most notably survivors of the kingdom of Tintagir, and founded the first elven nation on Faerun. And they also shot the opening salvo against the dragons that would culminate with the Draco Rage Mythal, a powerful spell that would forever change the course of dragonkind and the world going forward. And that's it for now on our exploration of the overview of the Dawn Age. Again, I'm going to be making videos on each of these specific parts of the Dawn Age because it's just, again, too much to put in one video. So we'll be making a video about the time of dragons and all of their history, as well as the reign of the giants and all their history, and of course what the elves are doing during this time in separate videos following this one. I hope this video has piqued your interest in the rich history and legends of the Forgotten Realms. Please, again, remember while you are here, please hit that like button, subscribe button, that notification bell, and share this channel with your adventuring friends. It means the world to me and does wonders for the channel, and I appreciate every last one of you. Also, if you'd like to do more to support the channel, I do also have a Patreon. The link is in the description of this video, and it's also in the banner of the channel as well. So if you'd like to support us, please go ahead and head on over to Patreon and pick whatever tier works for you. Please join us for our next episode where we will go more in depth on the time of dragons. Thank you again, and until next time, so say we all.